It is a beautiful fall morning here in the Northeast. The leaves are coming down and they are just covering the earth in beautiful reds and oranges, and we are excited. So come join us today in a fall-inspired What We Eat in a Day. We are going to be starting with some pumpkin sourdough discard pancakes. So you're going to take 2 full cups of sourdough discard, add a 1/4 cup of butter, and then I like to add an extra cup of flour. And because I make these protein pancakes, I add a scoop of protein powder and then 2 eggs to really just make it a very thick and heavy protein source. I add half a can of pumpkin puree and then 2 tablespoons of honey. I add 2 tablespoons of pumpkin pie spice, 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, and 1 tablespoon of nutmeg. This gives it such a rich and fall flavor. Before I start to stir all of my ingredients together, I always grab a whisk because that will get all of the lumps out, and then I add 1 tablespoon of baking soda to help the pumpkin pancakes rise. Place the pancakes on your favorite skillet and cook up about 10 to 12 pancakes. This is by far one of my son's absolute favorite meals. He loves to have fresh pancakes in the morning, and we always enjoy to have some time together, just enjoying our breakfast and focusing on the beautiful day that the Lord has for us. Now for lunch today, I'm actually having a salad, and I tend to have salad at least 3 or 4 times a week. I just love to have a nice fresh bit of vegetables in my system. And my son is also going to be having a salad with me. That's me taking the small pieces and putting them on my son's plate. He loves the crunchy bits of lettuce. And what I like to do on the first day that I have a salad for the week is I chop up all of the lettuce and all of the other vegetables. So usually I like to put carrots, small peppers, broccoli, and then I always slice a fresh cucumber to place in my salad as well. I like to do the cucumber on the daily. The other vegetables are fine sliced up and put away in the fridge, but the cucumbers I always like to slice nice and fresh. And then I add a little bit of cheese. That gives you some dairy, some protein in my salad, and I always give my son hummus because, again, we're adding that protein to his plate as well. And then for me, I like to add a nice little bit of chickpeas. You can just take the chickpeas right out of the can. I like to wash all of the syrup off of them and then add some of them into my salad bowl, and I put the rest of them into a container again for the rest of the week. So I have this kind of pre-made, so it's really easy to put together every single day if I want to have a salad throughout the week. It usually yields me, when I chop up the salad, it usually yields me, like I said, about 3 to 4 servings throughout the week, and then I don't have to really stress about making lunch every single day. I'm gonna add a little bit of croutons, and my favorite dressing is ranch, so I'm doing it up today. So again, having a nice fresh salad is something that my son and I love to chomp on for lunch throughout the week. It gives us both a nice fresh coating of vegetables in our tummy, and we absolutely love that. I think salad is a great treat year-round. because it is super refreshing in the summer, but then in the fall and the winter time, it actually gives me a nice light meal to have during the day so that at dinner time I can do it up with those super hearty, delicious meals. Speaking of hearty and delicious meals, tonight we are making a vegetarian shepherd's pie. I had mentioned this back in my Trader Joe's haul, but I am a vegetarian. My husband is not, but he loves how I cook, so he does not mind eating vegetarian meals. So I'm going to be starting off by peeling my potatoes. I usually peel between 1.5 to 2 pounds of potatoes, usually about half a bag is what really works for this recipe. And then I dice them up into small pieces. I find that the smaller the pieces, the shorter cook time they need. So I had some water boiling on the stove, and then I just added my diced potatoes to the boiling water. And then in a separate skillet, I have my cast iron skillet out. I am chopping up 1 red onion and 4 cloves of garlic. Once those are all diced up, I just add those to my cast iron skillet along with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil to really saute all of that up nicely. Now while that is sauteing, I actually turn the oven on to 350 degrees so that it can preheat while I'm chopping up the rest of my vegetables. And I start by dicing somewhere around 3 to 4 carrots. It really depends on how large they are. If they're kind of extra large, I'll go with maybe 2 or 3. But if they're on the smaller side, I will go with 4 sometimes because it gives it a nice hearty texture. And then again, 3 or 4 stalks of celery. I chop that up very nicely and add those items to the skillet as well. Now I actually forgot to turn my camera on for this next part, but I added a can of diced tomatoes, a half a can of tomato paste, and some frozen peas and corn to my skillet. Now for your kind of more meaty texture, I add a half of a container of the Trader Joe's meatless meat. And then I add a bit of diced mushrooms. Again, this just adds to that kind of meaty texture that you're looking for in a vegetarian dish. And for seasonings, I put in 2 bay leaves. I then add a nice little bit of thyme and paprika. Now don't hate me for this, I don't have any sort of measurement for it. I just put it in until it looks good, and then I add salt and pepper to the end of that. And then you're gonna add in a little bit of vegetable broth and 2 tablespoons of flour. The 2 tablespoons of flour is going to help make it a nice roux-esque stew style bit. And once I mix that all together, I let it sit on the stove and cook for a while. The next thing you're going to do is get all the water out of your potatoes once they're fully cooked and put them back in your pan so that you can mash them. Now for mashed potatoes, I add half a stick of butter, 1 to 2 spoonfuls of sour cream, some oat milk, and then some salt and pepper as well. And I absolutely love to use my immersion blender for this. I just blend the entire thing up until it is a nice mashed potato texture. And once those are done, I flatten out the lower parts of the shepherd's pie. and I add the mashed potatoes to the top. Now this is kind of like a pie, so what you're gonna wanna do is once your mashed potatoes are on, you're gonna make sure that they go all the way out to the edge so that you don't have a ton of seepage from the sauce out the sides. It adds like a nice pie crust. So you're gonna throw that into your oven for about 25 minutes so the mashed potatoes can get a nice golden crispiness on top. And my son was super excited. This is his favorite thing to do, is tell us, hey, there's food in the oven. And then once that is fully cooked, you can pull that out of the oven and serve to your family. Thank you guys so much for following us along on this fall-inspired what we eat in a day. All of these meals were absolutely delicious. And if you're interested, give them a good try because they are so yummy. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you have not yet subscribed, do so down below. Give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you very shortly. Bye guys.